Welcome back to PSC's Tech Bytes. This week I want to talk with you about how you can create a bot for Microsoft Teams using the Yeoman generator for Teams. First of all, if you want to achieve this goal, you will have to register a bot in Azure in order to get back an application ID and the secret for your bot. And you will also have to configure in the settings of the bot registered in Azure the URL of your actual bot running in any kind of hosting environment. If you use the Yeoman generator for Teams, you will have to use it to scaffold the bot solution so that you will be able to configure the actual implementation, to create and define the actual implementation of your bot, including the definition of the dialogues and eventually of the adaptive cards that you want to use to build the UI of your bot. So you use Visual Studio Code to develop and test the solution, and you can then release it, for example, on Azure or on any other hosting platform, and you will have to release it in production, registering the production URL in the bot registered in Azure. So, like always, let me move to the demo environment and let me show you how you can do that in practice. So, as I said, first of all, we start registering a bot in the bot channel registration in the portal of Azure. And once you have done that, in the settings section, you can see what is the application ID for your bot, as well as if you click on the Manage button, you can see what are the settings for the client secrets, and you can eventually create a new client secret. Moreover, in the setting, you can also see the messaging endpoint, which is the URL of the endpoint for your bot from a consumer point of view. So the endpoint that will be accessible from a Teams point of view, for example. In the channels section, you can configure the channels, and right here in this bot, I configure the Microsoft Teams channel so that this bot can be used in Microsoft Teams. Once you have done that, you can use the command line, and using the Yeoman generator for Teams with Teams, you can scaffold a new solution. Like always, when you use Teams, you have to choose a name for your solution. You can use the current folder. You can provide a title for your project, a company name. You should select the version of the manifest for the app, and 1.5 is always okay. So far, so good. We can eventually provide a partner ID, which I don't have right now, so I will leave it blank. I want to create a bot instead of a tab, so I will select a bot. And this will be, as usual, the URL on Azure if I want to publish it on Azure, but it is just an optional information. I don't want to have any testing or any telemetry. I want to create a new bot with the bot framework, and I need to provide a name from my bot, which could be your Teams bot 01, for example. Then I will have to provide the ID of the application that I registered in Azure. So you can copy it from the settings and you can paste it here. I already created the solution, so I will show that one once the scaffolding is ready, and so I will skip this one, providing the default all zeros. Then you can make the choice to have a static tab for your bot or not, and right now I want to have one, and I will provide a name, which will be your Teams bot tab for me, 01, and then I can eventually provide support for uploading files on the bot, but I will say no. And now the scaffolding process is running. It will take a while, and once it will be ready, we will have the solution fully scaffolded. And the solution is now ready, so we can start Visual Studio Code and see what we have got generated. So, for example, we have, first of all, a README file for the bot where we can find detailed instructions about what you can do to properly initialize and configure your bot from an Azure point of view and from a settings point of view at the solution level. Moreover, in the environment file, you can configure the application ID that you copied from Azure portal, as well as the client secret that you created. And this will be the information useful and needed by the bot solution in Visual Studio Code to run targeting the bot registered in Azure. Moreover, in the SRC folder, you will have under the app folder the Teams bot code generated for you, and there you can find a TypeScript file which implements the actual logic of your bot. And specifically here in the onMessage event handling, you have a very simple logic which will evaluate the text written by the user in the UI while talking with the bot. And for example, the out-of-the-box implementation, the scaffolded one, will evaluate an hello message to reply back with a text, which will simply say, oh, hello to you as well. Or you can provide a help, which will rely on a dialog, which you can find in the dialogues folder right here. And the dialog is nothing more than a TypeScript type, which extends the dialog-based type. And then you can start working with the dialog context in here and provide the messages to the user in the dialog. Or you can eventually do some kind of stuff like using an adaptive card, like for example we do here, where we create an instance of an adapted card based on a welcome card, and we send that card to the current context of the bot. The adapted card is defined as a JSON file, and it is configured through a welcome card that we export using that JSON definition of the adapted card. And then inside the bot implementation, we use the card factory adaptive card method to get an actual instance of the card that we send as the result of an action, of an interaction with our bot. As I said, I already created a bot for the sake of simplicity, and in this bot I configure both the ID and the secret, which I will not share right now. And in the SRCs folder, just to give you an idea, I implemented an additional functionality, so you can ask to the bot to get the greetings message, and in there, if that will be the case, using the card factory, as before, I create a greetings card. The greetings card is an adapted card where I show in the body just a text message, hey, greetings from a custom card, and I have an action section where I define just one action, which will be an open URL action, and which will open the URL of PMP, so that if you want to know more, to learn more about PMP, you can click on the button. So that's my implementation of the bot. I can simply run gulp and grok serve, as we did last week for the tabs built with the Yeoman generator for Teams. And once I've done that, I can get the URL of the ngrok endpoint, and then can replace it in the settings of my bot in Azure, right here, which is something that I already did in this sample solution. So once I've done that, I can open a browser. Here I am in Microsoft Teams in the web UI. You can go to localhost 3007, which is the default local endpoint listening for requests for your custom bot. And here you can see that there is already an Add to Teams button, which is a pretty easy solution to add your team bot to a target team environment. In fact, in the web folder of your solution, you can find the index file, and you can see that the add the bot to Microsoft Teams will simply fire a request to teams.microsoft.com for a specific chat, which will activate the ID of your bot. And by doing that, I can use the client or I can use the web UI. I will have a chat with my bot. As I said, we can say hello to the bot, and we will get back an hello message. We can ask for help. We can ask for something else, and we will get a default predefined reply back. Or we can also say that we want to have greetings, and we will get back the adaptive card, the custom adaptive card that I created with an action which will open the site of PMP. So pretty simple and pretty easy, but really powerful solution for creating bots for Microsoft Teams. As usual, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.